She's got her first shot, so. Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna watch a video here real quick. Please, by all means, if you would like, make a few notes, take a few notes, mental notes, whatever. If you want to write, type a few things down, and then we're gonna talk about it afterwards. Sound good? Assuming that there is volume. Hold your pants. Play along.
How about a moderate amount of stress? Who's experienced a lot of stress? Yeah, me too. But that is not my confession. My confession is this. I'm a health psychologist, and my mission is to help people be happier and healthier. But I fear something I've been teaching for the last 10 years is doing more harm than good. And it has to do with stress. For years, I've been telling people stress makes you sick. It increases the risk of everything from the common cold to cardiovascular disease. Basically, I've turned stress into the enemy. But I've changed my mind about stress. And today, I want to change yours. Let me start with the study that made me rethink my whole approach to stress. This study tracked 30,000 adults in the United States for 8 years. And they started by asking people, how much stress you experienced in the last year? They also asked, do you believe that stress is harmful for your health? And then they used public death records to find out who died. Okay, some bad news first. People who experienced a lot of stress in the previous year had a 43% increased risk of dying. But that was only true for the people who also believed that stress is harmful for your health. People who experienced a lot of stress but did not view stress as harmful were no more likely to die. In fact, they had the lowest risk of dying of anyone in the study, including people who had relatively little stress. Now, the researchers estimated that over the 8 years they were tracking deaths, 182,000 Americans died prematurely, not from stress, but from the belief that stress is bad for you. That is over 20,000 deaths a year. Now, if that estimate is correct, that would make believing stress is bad for you the 15th largest cause of death in the United States last year, killing more people than skin cancer, HIV, AIDS, and homicide. You can see why this study freaked me out. Here I've been spending so much energy telling people stress is bad for your health. So this study got me wondering, can changing how you think about stress make you healthier? And here the science says yes. When you change your mind about stress, you can change your body's response to stress. Now, to explain how this works, I want you all to pretend that you are participants in a study designed to stress you out. It's called the social stress test. You come into the laboratory and you're told you have to give a 5-minute impromptu speech on your personal weaknesses to a panel of expert evaluators sitting right in front of you. And to make sure you feel the pressure, there are bright lights and a camera in your face, kind of like this. And the evaluators have been trained to give you discouraging nonverbal feedback, like this. Now that you're sufficiently demoralized, time for part 2, a math test. And unbeknownst to you, these get the idea. Now, if you were actually in this study, you'd probably be a little stressed out. Your heart might be pounding, you might be breathing faster, maybe breaking out into a sweat. And normally we interpret these physical changes as anxiety or signs that we aren't coping very well with the pressure. But what if you viewed them instead as signs that your body was energized, was preparing you to meet this challenge? Now that is exactly what participants were told in a study conducted at Harvard University. Before they went through the social stress test, they were taught to rethink their stress response as helpful. That pounding heart is preparing you for action. If you're breathing faster, it's no problem. It's getting more oxygen to your brain. And participants who learned to view the stress response as helpful for their performance, well, they were less stressed out, less anxious, more confident. But the most fascinating finding to me was how their physical stress response changed. Now, in a typical stress response, your heart rate goes up and your blood vessels constrict like this. And this is one of the reasons that chronic stress is sometimes associated with cardiovascular disease. It's not really healthy to be in this state all the time. But in the study, when participants viewed their stress response as helpful, their blood vessels stayed relaxed like this. Their heart was still pounding, but this is a much healthier cardiovascular profile. It actually looks a lot like what happens in moments of joy and courage. Over a lifetime of stressful experiences, this one biological change could be the difference between a stress-induced heart attack at age 50 and living well into your 90s. And this is really what the new science of stress reveals, that how you think about stress matters. So my goal as a health psychologist has changed. I no longer want to get rid of your stress. I want to make you better at stress. And we just did a little intervention. If you raised your hand and said you had a lot of stress in the last year, we could have saved your life. Because hopefully the next time your heart is pounding from stress, you're going to remember this talk, and you're going to think to yourself, this is my body helping me rise to this challenge. And when you view stress in that way, your body believes you, and your stress response becomes healthier. Now, I said I have over a decade of demonizing stress to redeem myself from. So we are going to do one more intervention. I want to tell you about one of the most underappreciated aspects of the stress response. And the idea is this: stress makes you social. To understand the side of stress, we need to talk about a hormone, oxytocin. And I know oxytocin has already gotten as much hype as a hormone can get. It even has its own cute nickname, the cuddle hormone, because it's released when you hug someone. But this is a very small part of what oxytocin is involved in. Oxytocin is a neurohormone. It fine-tunes your brain's social instincts. It primes you to do things that strengthen close relationships. Oxytocin makes you crave physical contact with your friends and family. It enhances your empathy. It even makes you more willing to help and support the people you care about. Some people have even suggested we should snort oxytocin to become more compassionate and caring. But here's what most people don't understand about oxytocin. It's a stress hormone. Your pituitary gland pumps this stuff out as part of the stress response. It's as much a part of your stress response as the adrenaline that makes your heart pound. And when oxytocin is released in the stress response, it is motivating you to seek support. Your biological stress response is nudging you to tell someone how you feel instead of bottling it up. Your stress response wants to make sure you notice when someone else in your life is struggling so that you can support each other. When life is difficult, your stress response wants you to be surrounded by people who care about you. Okay, so how is knowing this side of stress going to make you healthier? Well, oxytocin doesn't only act on your brain, it also acts on your body. And one of its main roles in your body is to protect your cardiovascular system from the effects of stress. It's a natural anti-inflammatory. It also helps your blood vessels stay relaxed during stress. stress response has a built-in mechanism for stress resilience. And that mechanism is human connection. I want to finish by telling you about one more study. And listen up, because this study could also save a life. This study tracked about 1,000 adults in the United States, and they ranged in age from 34 to 93. And they started the study by asking, how much stress have you experienced in the last year? They also asked, how much time have you spent helping out friends, neighbors, people in your community? And then they used public records for the next 5 years to find out who died. Okay, so the bad news first. For every major stressful life experience, like financial difficulties or family crisis, that increased the risk of dying by 30%. But, and I hope you are expecting a but by now, but that wasn't true for everyone. People who spent time caring for others showed absolutely no stress-related increase in dying, 0. Caring created resilience. And so we see once again that the harmful effects of stress on your health are not inevitable. How you think and how you act can transform your experience of stress. When you choose to view your stress response as helpful, you create the biology of courage. And when you choose to connect with others under stress, you can create resilience. Now, I wouldn't necessarily ask for more stressful experiences in my life, but the science has given me a whole new appreciation for stress. Stress gives us access to our hearts. The compassionate heart that finds joy and meaning in connecting with others. And yes, your pounding physical heart working so hard to give you strength and energy. And when you choose to view stress in this way, you're not just getting better at stress, you're actually making a pretty profound statement. You're saying that you can trust yourself to handle life's challenges. And you're remembering that you don't have to face them alone. Thank you.
There's a relative question here at the end too, though. You guys know.
This is kind of amazing what you're telling us. It seems amazing to me that a belief about stress can make so much difference to someone's life expectancy. How would that extend to advice? Like if someone's making a lifestyle choice between, say, a stressful job and a non-stressful job, does it matter that which way they go, that it's equally wise to go for the stressful job so long as you believe that you can handle it in some sense?
Yeah, and one thing we know for certain is that chasing meaning is better for your health than trying to avoid discomfort. And so I would say that's really the best way to make decisions, is go after what it is that creates meaning in your life, and then trust yourself to handle the stress that follows.
Thank you so much, Kelly. It's really cool.
Okay, what do we got? What did we learn?
She wants people to snort oxygen.
Does anyone recognize her name? Who is it, Emery? Author of the book, Willpower Instinct, for this class that you're supposed to own. Yeah. Okay. Good. No, anybody else pick up on that? Okay.
It's like you think I read the author of the book.
Huh?
You think I read the author of the book?
Okay. All right. What else did we learn? What did we learn? What do we think?
I found it interesting that the body is, we recently covered this in one of my engineering classes.
Really? What?
How your body under stress constricts blood vessels, or I guess blood
Yeah.
vessels.
Yep.
I found that interesting because it's like it's kind of like when you have a bottleneck point in some kind of a system, that's where your highest velocity is.
Sure.
I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So what does that tell you?
About the body's natural response.
Yeah, what does it tell you about you?
Oh, about me.
Yeah, anything?
Oh, that means I'm probably stressed out. It's more, I don't know, that she was talking about that's your body's way of responding to stress. It transports oxygen faster through your body.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I don't know, I just thought that was interesting.
Okay, good, good. What else? What do we got? Yes, sir.
I was just thinking that those people who said that they like a busy schedule all the time and like keep themselves busy, like figured it out before they saw the TED talk. You know, they always keep their schedule busy and they're always in, I guess, some state of stress and have some sense of urgency, so they're not just sitting around all the time.
Yeah, sure. Like, this is even some of you. Some of you thrive on that, right? How many of you get really, like, restless when you're bored? Yeah, you don't like it, right? You need stuff to do, okay? As long as it's things you want to do, though, right?
Right.
Unlike schoolwork.
Correct.
Okay. So, what happens, William, then, okay, when you're behind and you're stressed out and you got to finish assignments?
Honestly, I actually wrote about this in my post, but like making a list and prioritizing what I need to do
Yeah.
automatically release stress because I'm like working towards it.
Okay.
And it makes me feel like I'm doing something.
Even if you're not, though, right?
Yeah.
You're making your list. Okay, here's what I got to do. Look at me, I made a list.
Right.
I'm going to do the list, right? Until someone says, let's go have fun, right? Why you're laughing, Gabrielle?
No, I'm just laughing because that's like me every day. I'm like, I got this, I have this list, and then like sometimes I only accomplish like one thing, and it's like, yes.
Right, okay, fair enough. And if that works, if you get to check off the one thing, that's better than no things, right? Okay, you're still working on it. Okay, Kelly, what were you going to, you're nodding in agreement? Need busy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how do you handle it? What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
To keep myself busy?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. In the same scenario, let's say you're getting a little bit behind. How are you going to handle it?
It depends on like what it is. So like if it's schoolwork when I'm getting behind, sometimes I'll make a list, but other times I'll set timers for increments.
Okay?
And then, because I know I can only work for so long.
Sure, sure.
Straightforward. And
Yeah.
then I'll do something to like get my heart rate up, and then I'll go back to that.
Excellent.
Other than that, caffeine.
Bangs, right?
What?
Bangs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What else? What else do you guys find in this video?
I think it's, I mean, it kind of like calls me out for looking at my stress the wrong way and often rationalizing too many breaks or something.
Sure.
Because I'm always like, stress is making me less productive. I need to calm down.
Right.
And so then I get nothing done for the next 30 minutes. And instead I can look at that as my body is in hyperdrive. Let's get everything done.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, so your body's doing one thing and your brain's doing another. Your body's like, okay, let's get this done. Your brain's like, nah, I need a break. Yeah. And then you lose it. Andrew, what do you got?
Whenever I start to get stressed out from school, my reaction is always just, let's get my group of people together. We're gonna hop on Zoom or get the meeting. We're just gonna finish it all.
Yeah.
Right? We stay up all night, even if it's due like 2 days from now, just to get it done. And we'll all just sit there and grind it out together.
Okay, good. Did you take anything away from when she was talking about reaching out to other people?
Yeah, I'm like that makes so much more sense of why that always works for me.
Yeah.
Like it actually kind of makes sense now. I didn't.
Yeah, I had no
understand
clue
why it
that
worked.
did for you.
It did.
So, hold on. I didn't hear the last thing you said.
Oh, I never knew why it worked. I just knew it did. So.
Okay, Nolan, where are
Yeah,
you?
it's the same thing. When I get stressed, I go knock on other people's doors, and then I go talk to people. I come back and I'm just a little bit more ease.
Right, yeah. Whether they heard a word you said or not, right?
Right.
She's
And,
just unloading, right? Okay,
And now most of the time I'm asking about them, like how are you doing, really, really.
good.
I'm always asking about them. For me, it's just like a chilling point, but I got to hear somebody else's life
Yeah,
because I know how I'm doing right now, and it's not so high.
okay.
And it's not so much professing; it's so much just hearing, listening, comparing. Like they got a lot worse than me. I'm gonna be all right.
Awesome tool to help you, right? A
Yeah.
little perspective. Kelton, you're nodding. What do you got?
Kind of going off of what Nolan said, but one thing that always helps me is just like talking in general. It doesn't even have to be like if I'm stressed out, it doesn't even have to be
I mean, Isabel?
I just hope that it took a look, like, so for me, I'm super social.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I don't even need to be in a conversation with people, I just want to be around people. And I just kind of hope, so, like, I don't have an old lady, so I go over to their room. So, like, yeah, he doesn't like it all too much.
She needs a roommate. Huh?
So, like, I hope it, like, now they can kind of understand it a little better.
So if you're out at Northgate, you just like the creepy person who just stands by people and doesn't have to say anything?
I'm not old enough to go to Northgate.
I'm just teasing you. But you touched on a great point, right? Did you guys even notice that about yourselves? Like, do you need the social interaction? So, look, some people are more introverts or prefer isolation or whatever. Okay, my wife and I are very different. Like, I love people. I love to help people, right? If I can. Maybe that's why I like teaching. My wife, very much introvert and is totally fine not talking to anyone all day. Okay, so we're actually the same boat. Okay, and you know, we balance each other out, and there's some strengths in that, and then there's things we have to work on and stuff like that. But it baffles her mind that I need that I need contact, that I need to interact with other people, right? Everybody's a little different in that sense, but for the most part, whether it's a small group, you still need somebody. How many of you, when you're stressed out, you pick up the phone, you call your parents? No.
I schedule meetings.
Okay. Okay, good. Or you reach out to somebody. Okay, maybe if it's a good friend, someone you trust, whatever like that. Sometimes you don't even know you're doing it right. And it's fascinating to look at that from a difference of texting versus actually talking to somebody. Gina, you had your hand up.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say like I don't like usually go around to like my buddies' rooms to talk to them or anything. But I mean, sometimes if something like crazy happens, I find myself like hopping on the group chat and being like, "Hey guys, this crazy thing happened." And,
Sure.
like, seeing if anybody wants to chat, you know. It's a kind of different way of interacting, but.
Yeah. Okay, Madison.
Yeah, I've noticed like talking to my buddies makes me so much more stressed out.
Why?
They talk forever, and I'm like, I need to go back. I need to study. Like I have so much to do.
Okay.
I can't talk to you for an hour, and then I just. So like if I'm super stressed, I'll just lock my door and call
Okay.
my mom or someone. But yeah, I cannot study in the dorms. Cannot.
Why?
I don't know. They just like, and my roommate also doesn't like is taking pretty easy classes, so it's really hard to like balance that. And I feel bad because I'm like, don't talk to me. I'm studying.
Sure.
So I just leave.
Sure. Okay.
But,
Yeah, but that's a good thing to know, right?
yeah.
Okay. Emery, how do you handle it when you're stressed out?
I usually talk to the people closest to me.
Okay.
So, I mean, usually I'm pretty introverted, but
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you, because you're a quiet dude.
yeah, so I don't like just go and talk to anybody, but like my closest friends, I'll talk to them. I like my roommate.
Sure.
Just have like a quick little chat and get back to studying.
Good. Good. Okay, cool. What else? Yes, sir.
I don't know if it's like an actual scientific thing, but I suck at vague tasks.
Big task? What do you mean?
Vague tasks.
Oh, vague.
So, like,
I'm sorry. They
it's
said
not-
vague. I'm like, you're about to lead 100,000 people in yells next year.
So like I'm really good at like getting, if I have a set like homework, I can do that. But like if I just have a test in 2 weeks, it stresses me out to no end. I have to like make specific tasks to get done.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's like real, but that's the biggest thing that helps me deal with
Okay.
stress.
Okay. Cool. Gabriella? Yes, ma'am.
I do something else, like for me, the quad is very stressful for me. And
Quad?
so, just because like, I don't know, I'm single staff, so I hear like everything going on in the hallway, and I'm on staff, so I don't train or anything, but just hearing that and seeing, I'm just like, you know what, I gotta go. So I just try and like escape, so I go to the green and ride, and that
Okay.
gives me so much therapy. Or whenever I'm going and I'm doing my undergrad research, I work with babies. I work with baby horses,
Uh-huh.
and they just, I don't know, they give me a serotonin boost. And that
Yeah, sure.
gets me going. So I try and just get away from the whole area and just
Yeah.
try and avoid it, find peace, and then come back.
And what do you want to do?
Want to be a vet?
Yeah, okay. So there, which is, you talk to the animals?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
This is, There's a lot of reason that people become veterinarians versus medical doctors. And some of it's literally because I prefer animals, not people. Right? Because they can't talk, can't say anything. All right? Which is fair and valid, okay? But that's also why they interview you guys as you're going to vet school. Because some of the times they think like that you don't like people. Well, you still got to work with people, right? Just not as many. Okay? And they can't tell you what hurts, right? Your patients can be like, ow, hurts here. Yeah, they just knock them out, right? Just go a little heavy on the machine. Okay. Colton, take anything away from this?
I liked when it talked about how your heart and blood vessels contract, and then when people that thought that stress was good for them, it opened back up, and that's actually like a good way to live because the more stressed out you get, it's kind of like experiencing joy.
Yeah.
And so similar to like everyone else, I think you can use that to your advantage and do better in situations that you're stressed out in if you look at it in that perspective.
Sure. Okay, good. I like it. Anything else? Anything that stood out to anybody?
I think her last statement was kind of a mic drop.
They almost never include questions on TED Talk videos. And so there was like a minute left and she stopped. I'm like, what the heck is this? And then what happened? What did he answer?
Well, the gentleman, I'm assuming the person who was from
Killer shirt. She knows the shirt. It's from like 2013. Comes from Slack. And it was in Scotland too.
Oh, yeah, it was, yeah, I hadn't heard this one. That's fine. Anyways, yeah, so he asked her, is it, like, what's beneficial in people choosing between either a really stressful job or a job that is less stressful, I guess.
Mhm.
She said it really depends on, or it's more important to have purpose in your job and manage the stress than to have a less stressful job with lacking purpose.
Yeah.
And, she worded it better, but that was.
Yeah, it was about finding meaning, right? In the hard job, okay? You want ER doc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay? That's a hard job. It's a really hard job, okay? But you're driven to that, right? Okay? Even though you don't want to talk to anybody, which is it's okay. A lot of them be unconscious. By the way, if you ever go to the ER, if you're bleeding, you get served a lot faster. That's just a sidebar. Okay? If you're ever in pain, just cut your thumb or something like that. Okay? We learned something today? Okay, good. All right. Anything else? That's good. And I think is hopefully you guys are kind of trying to figure this out right now, right? You're working on internships. You're working on jobs. Some of you are going to go into things you're not going to like. Don't panic. You'll be okay. But if you find the meaning as to why you like that job, it's probably going to be better for you, even if it is more stressful. Okay? You're going to find meaning in that job. You want to do that job, even though it's hard. So, yeah, hope that's true. What else? Anything else? Gina?
Honestly, I think that makes a lot of sense because I feel like people, like when they're like, oh, I'm gonna quit my job, find another one, they're like more upset with like management or like how they're treated than like how hard the job itself actually is.
Oh, absolutely. Most of the time, and I don't, there's plenty of studies on this. I don't know the numbers offhand. Most of the time you lose people, good people, even in the Corps, believe it or not. Okay, now there's some bags that got to go, right? But a lot of times when we lose people in any profession, it's because they're dissatisfied, right? People want to feel valued. You want to find value in your work. You do it a lot. You're around work more than your family most of the time. Okay? You want to find value in that, as that'll keep you going. And if you remember, we'll get into it. But next semester in 41, we kind of touch on that. There's what do people want more than sex and money? Does anybody know?
Meaning.
Huh?
Meaning. You want meaning more than sex.
Me- Praise and recognition. Honestly, my favorite answer to that is more sex and more money that I've asked. Yeah. But this is actually CEO of a company who said it. People want praise and recognition, and it's usually not a lot. It doesn't take a lot to thank somebody or to make them feel valued. Hey, I'm busy. Can you do this extra thing for me? Can you help me out? And then Brandon's like, yeah, I'll help you out. And feel good about it, right? And then we just learn that. I'll feel good. I'll feel better. Okay. Put what she just talked about, that was in 2013, in the context of COVID. Think about all the things she just said. What do we think the impact is on us as a people in society? Ethan?
Well, I guess my mind went straight to what was happening during COVID, especially when you were talking about how you, like, personally need human interaction and stuff like that, when all the shutdowns and stuff happened, I remember seeing a lot of stuff like that online with people who, like, not necessarily me, I'm a very introverted person, but like my family, my mom especially, like she's very extroverted and she was like going and losing her mind, like pulling her hair out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was just wasn't healthy for her because she thrived on that, you know.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. What else? William?
Yeah, so I pretty much immediately thought of COVID as well, in that I feel like since COVID, there's just been more stress overall.
Sure.
With
For a number of reasons, right?
Yeah, just for every aspect of COVID has brought upon more stress, I think, to just about everyone.
Sure.
It could come from the human interaction part. Maybe you see someone, like if you're really like into COVID regulations and you see someone not doing it, it immediately puts stress on you.
Yeah.
Put stress on them because then you got someone yelling at you.
Right.
And like it's just created a lot of tension in everyone, I think, and so it just piles on stress, I think.
Yep. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah.
I kind of agree with the social aspect of COVID. I remember when quarantine first came out, I'm also one of those individuals that kind of thrives on being busy, and the idea of I have so much to do tomorrow, I need to do it all today, kind of keeps me going.
Uh-huh.
But when COVID hit, everything just kind of stopped, and I think that really made me realize how much I depend on that social interaction.
Sure.
Like you're saying, your mom went crazy. I remember I stayed, and it wasn't even because I was in quarantine or whatever. I stayed inside for like 78 hours, and I was just like going to sleep at 5 in the morning, waking up at 2 in the afternoon. It was really messed up.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Holden, anything there?
I mean, I did see like the studies in Europe where they were saying, that they needed to lift the restrictions because they were seeing how it was affecting people mentally more than COVID was killing people physically. So.
Yes. Yeah. And again, look, try not to get into COVID a whole lot because there's still a lot we have to learn. But what we are seeing is in places that are extremely shut down. Just happened, a young man in Oregon, star football player, no signs, nothing, in high school, just took his own life. No one saw it coming. His parent was a good kid, well-liked, good athlete, all this stuff. They haven't been in school for a year, right? And they haven't had practices, okay, where you get to goof off with your buddies, right? Even for introverts, I think. And I bring this up because, so when this all happened, and at first, right, and this was a year ago, everything's just getting, we were at spring break a year ago, and nothing was going to get closed. And then it was Monday and Tuesday on campus at A&M before we lost the whole semester. Okay? And how many of you, if you think back to last spring, how many of you were like, oh, this is kind of cool? Was anyone, yeah, I get a break, right? How did it go for your PT and academics? Not good? What happened?
I just kind of let it, it was like, oh, COVID, we have a little bit of a break, it probably won't last long, and then everything just
Right.
got dropped on us. And so it was kind of like, I just saw it as a break from all of that, and then I just never got back into my rhythm.
How many others?
Yeah, my structure was ripped.
It was most of you. Okay, and again, you're in the core. You joined for a reason, right? Most of you. Okay, you like the structure and the routine and all that good stuff. And it went to hell at first. I think. Don't lose your thought. At first, everybody was like, "Yeah, it's kind of cool. Get a break. Screw this. It'll be fine," And then all semester it goes to hell, and a lot of people didn't recover. Isabel.
So for me, during that situation, I had actually been with my family that entire week because we went on vacation.
Sure.
And I come back and I'm like, I can't leave.
Yeah.
Like, listen,
I have to still be around my family.
Yeah, listen, I love my family, right?
You're not alone. Yeah.
And then like, I got back and I was like, I want to go back. I felt that's like,
Yeah.
that's how my brain feels, and that felt in that moment. And then I got sick. I don't know if it was COVID. It might have been COVID.
Yeah.
It probably was COVID, but I got sick. And then my parents, they were like, no, you cannot leave. I was like, but I just want to go back. Like, I love y'all, but y'all are driving me crazy because nobody was allowed to leave the house. And so it wasn't for me, it wasn't the physical or grade. It was my mental state.
Yeah.
I was going
Yes.
crazy. I was like, I need some other interaction besides my family.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Kelton, something to add?
Kind of just like have
Sure.
mostly in morning classes, so my afternoons were completely empty. But it just like I felt like I have a lot of time, but the stress of COVID and also because I had so much time and I was used to doing a lot of stuff in the afternoon, I just felt like so empty and so drained, and it was honestly a little more stressful for me than it would have been otherwise. So like that during that break session, whenever we were like working from home, or well, schooling from home, it was just like so much more stressful to me than it was otherwise.
Yeah.
And also, I stayed in the, which this is still true now, but I stayed in the same room for like the vast majority of the day. And I remember reading a COVID study that like, you know, if you sleep and work in the same room, you're A, less productive, and B, just like you feel trapped. And I was really starting to experience that during that break because
Yeah.
I stayed in there like all the time.
Welcome to prison.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, there's a lot of studies with that, right, of being confined and all that good stuff. Right, not good stuff, but yeah, what it does to you, okay, and absolutely how it breaks you down. Did anybody? So I started doing it, being a social guy, right? Miss my buddies, miss getting together for happy hour or whatever. Everything was closed up. I started scheduling Zooms with my buddies for happy hour, right? And some dudes are playing guitar and we're just hanging out. And at first, my introverted wife is like, "You're an idiot." Okay, like this is the best thing ever. I'm home. I get to teach from home. Life is great. Okay, and I'm like, no, I need to interact with my guys and just be stupid and be a dumb person that I am and see what's going on, right? Okay, and I did it a couple times, and then she started doing it, and they were on for hours. It was so loud. It was just a lot of women talking to each other, all that I could hear. Like it couldn't because the computer was on and everything, right? But she even needed that. And they had a ball, right? So that's the interactive stuff that I thought some of this was so interesting. We're a little bit, if reading days are I don't understand reading days at this university. You guys, it messes up my schedule. You're my second 381 section, so normally I have Tuesday, and then you guys had Texas Independence Day, so now you're first, but next Thursday is your Friday, so I'm screwed. So today, I was screwed. So does anybody know what no man's land is? World War I? What's no man's land, William?
It was the area between the trenches on either side.
Yeah, okay, so today, I was like, if I teach Tuesday, then I'm screwed. So I kind of took this as an opportunity. One, I thought that would be interesting and helpful from the author and take a little break. I want to try and get away from just reviewing what we read every week. I think it's a little bit useful at first to try to pull you guys in that the text is actually decent and that hopefully you're getting something out of it. So we'll move away from that moving forward, and it won't just be reviewing what you guys already read, which I hope is good. So I took advantage to use this to hopefully help you, and then this is a special treat from something that's actually in the book that I wanted to show you guys.
Okay, so that's your. Alright, here's the deal. Marshmallow for you. You can either wait, and I'll give you another one if you wait, or you can eat it now. When I come back, I'll give you another one, so then I want you. But stay in here and stay in the chair till I come back, okay? Alright.
whatever. Who does not like marshmallows? Solid. I'm not alone. Okay, my kids think I'm crazy. Who thinks that's weird that people don't like marshmallows? It's okay.
Each person's got their thing.
Yeah. That was you guys with the candy, right? I put out the candy and you were like, and you're just trying to figure out why. Okay. The other class, several of them went all in. What's funny is I left the bag here from Thursday to Tuesday, and most of it was gone, which I think means Dr. Brown crushed some candy this past week. Okay. That whole bag is like almost empty. So anyway, okay. So I will post this week's discussion post. We are getting back into the book. All right, we started on the ILDP a little bit. We'll get to chapter 4. It'll be due next Wednesday. Again, this one is pretty fascinating for college students, this chapter. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it and get into it and all that good stuff. Sound good? Cool. Awesome. Any questions? We learn anything today? What did we learn, William?
We learned about how stress can affect your body depending on how you think about it.
Yeah,
How you
again.
perceive it.
Yep. Hopefully you can use it as a tool. What else? Kelvin, what did you learn today?
Stress sucks, but it probably doesn't suck as bad as I thought it did.
Okay, good. Awesome. Go have a wonderful week, and be careful if you take a couple days off. Please be responsible and all that good stuff. Cool.